As I was about to sign my physical examination form, a barrage of comments floated before my eyes. Once you sign this, the female lead's kidney will no longer be yours. Just then, Evan Jiang walked over to me. Ella, quickly sign the paper. We're preparing to return to our country. This is not a health check form. It's a kidney donation consent form. Once the female lead signs, the hospital will immediately prepare to start the surgery, even if the female lead doesn't understand English. Her boyfriend suddenly took her abroad, and it's for a health check. Doesn't she have any suspicion? Naively signing the surgery consent form, only to be left in a foreign country after losing a kidney. It wasn't until she was betrayed by the female supporting character that he remembered her goodness, brought her back to the country when she was gravely ill, and pampered her to the bone. But what's the use? The female lead lost a kidney. After being abandoned, her body got infected, and she has to live on medication for the rest of her life. It's worse than death. I stiffly watched the barrage, fingertips turning white. Evan Jiang gently patted my head. Sign quickly, we're going to have French food later. Evan, why do we need to sign the medical examination form? I suppressed the storm in my heart and tried to keep my tone even. Evan Jiang's expression changed slightly, and his breathing became a bit erratic. Well, maybe it's different here from back home. Look at me not moving. Jiang Chen seemed a bit impatient. Ella Ju, we came abroad to have fun, not to accompany you on a one-day hospital tour. I bit my lip. Because of the long flight, I showed signs of jet lag as soon as I arrived here, feeling dizzy and vomiting for half a day. Evan Jiang then took me to the hospital for a checkup. I have always put Evan Jiang first. The words he said, I have always been obedient. I saw that his gaze was still fixed on my hand. I took a breath, raised my hand, and signed my name. I didn't ask why anymore. All right, you will report to the doctor and send it over. I will buy you a bottle of water. Maybe he himself doesn't even realize it. There's a certain lightness in his voice that feels like dust settling. I watched Evan Jiang's back, quickly took out my phone, snapped pictures of the so-called medical examination form, then tore the documents up and threw them into the trash. Looking at the words kidney donation consent and kidney match translated on my phone, my heart felt like it was being torn apart, and even my breathing was painful. As I reached the staircase, I heard Jiang Chen's gentle voice. It's okay, the donation consent form has already been signed. I'll book a plane ticket for you. Come over now, I've already reserved a room for you. It's okay, her health is fine. Losing one kidney isn't a big deal. Be good, I'll come to pick you up later. Is the male lead okay? What does it mean to be healthy? Should a healthy person unconditionally donate a kidney, or do it unknowingly? That's right, the male lead is still too submissive. What do you guys understand? This is just a story of a wife revenge. Once the male lead finds out that the female supporting character has greened him, he will start to regret it. It will be more interesting then. Haha, another sadistic female character story. I watched the bullet comments for a while. Only then did I confirm that everything said in the bullet comments was true. I am the female lead of an early love story, my childhood sweetheart, Evan Jiang. Just that Evan Jiang has always had a white moonlight that he couldn't love, and coincidentally, this white moonlight fell ill and needed a kidney transplant, which is why he designed this trip abroad. He tricked me into coming here and deceived me into signing the kidney donation consent form. But after the surgery, he left me here and returned to the country with his white moonlight. And because my passport was maliciously lost by his white moonlight and I couldn't contact him, I owed a lot of debt and couldn't go back. I could only work and pay off the hospital's surgery fees, but due to improper post-operative care, my body was severely infected, resulting in many complications. When he returned home and spent some sweet time with his white moonlight, he discovered that she was not as innocent as she appeared on the surface, and then he thought of me. But by the time he found me, my body was already broken beyond repair, and I didn't have long to live. I suppressed my disgust and suddenly found Evan Jiang's face to be utterly hideous. Evan Jiang hung up the phone and turned to see me in the stairwell, his voice cooling down. What are you causing a scene for? If it weren't for you abandoning Nyan Nyan and running away, she wouldn't have been beaten to the hospital. I'm doing this to atone for your sins. You're living a carefree life, but have you thought about how she's suffering from illness every day? I let her go abroad to have some fun. So what are you causing a scene for? My face turned pale. While reading, I saw Shen Yan Yan being dragged away at the school gate, and I chased after her without hesitation, but was beaten up by a group of senior students and fainted. When I called the police and the police found Shen Yan Yan, she was already covered in burns from cigarette butts and was lying in the hospital. In her eyes, it became my failure to save her, which led to her getting injured. If you hadn't pretended to faint that time and delayed the police from saving her, she wouldn't have been so frightened and fallen ill. Can you honestly say you bear no responsibility? After that incident, Evan Jiang always felt that I owed Shen Yan Yan, and I should repay it. He takes care of Shen Yan Yan everywhere, as a way of atoning for me. Everything is placed before Shen Yan Yan, also to take care of her for me. Oh my, this is really embarrassing. The female supporting character seduces someone else's boyfriend and gets beaten. Can this really be blamed on the female lead? Clearly her heart is itching to move, but she keeps using the female lead as an excuse everywhere. She's really out of her mind. I shivered all over. So, because I was knocked out that time and didn't call the police in time, you have been blaming everything on me. Evan Jiang's eyes flashed with cold light. Isn't it because you heard that I was close to her, and you were jealous, that you deliberately fainted, now that she's ill and not long for this world? You're still enjoying my love. Doesn't your conscience hurt? I shake my head. I just feel like this world has gone crazy. I once risked everything to save her, which made me jealous of her. Pretending to faint, now that she has fallen ill herself, Evan Jiang can also blame everything on me. Even going abroad became a crime for me. Before I could say anything, his phone rang again. Okay, I'm going to the airport to wait for you now. What is she mad about, just because I'm her boyfriend? Do I not even have the right to make friends? Good, don't be so kind. No need to bring clothes, she has them. This is what she owes you. I haven't even spoken yet. Evan Jiang scowled and turned around to leave. When I reached the door, I only saw the exhaust fumes left by the car. I couldn't hold back my anger. Turned around and went back to the hospital, picked up the documents from the trash can, reprinted a copy, and casually wrote Evan Jiang's name on it. He also wrote his ID number and phone number in the blank space of the document. When I returned to the hotel, I made sure to carry my important documents with me. Glancing over, I saw Evan Jiang's passport placed together with mine. After hesitating for a second, I tore up the passport directly, and the fragments were flushed down the toilet. I opened my phone again and booked a plane ticket to go back tomorrow. Evan Jiang picked Shen Yan up that very night. Ella, look. I left in such a hurry that I didn't bring my clothes. Evan Jiang directly opened the cabinet and picked out my most expensive clothes. These are too expensive, she's never willing to wear them. Perfect for you. After finishing speaking, she looked at me again. Nyan Nyan said she's afraid of the dark, at night. I go to her room to sleep on the sofa. I'll come back after she falls asleep. Shen Yan Yan proudly glanced at me, then gently rubbed her forehead. Big brother Jiang. I feel a bit dizzy. Can I sleep here directly? Evan Jiang didn't think twice before lifting the person horizontally and gently tucking her into the quilt. Ella sister, I'm sorry, I didn't expect my body to be so weak. You can sleep in my room. Okay. Jiang frowned at me. Why are you still not leaving? Nyan Nyan has been on a plane for half a day and is already tired. Go now, don't delay Nyan Nyan's rest. I sneered and opened another room. During that time, I saw Shen Yan, who was supposedly unwell, go to eat the most expensive French cuisine here with Evan Jiang and even posted it on her circle, with the most important person, do the most joyful things. I sneered and put away my phone. It wasn't until 2 o'clock in the morning that Evan Jiang swiped his card and entered the room directly. What's wrong with you? Didn't I tell you to sleep in Yan Yan's room? Why did you open another room for yourself? Watching me without saying a word, he stood by the bed, looking down at me from above. What, are you throwing a tantrum again? He edged and threw the coat hanger onto the ground. Ella Ju, when will you ever be as sensible as Nyan Nyan? Nyan Nyan is afraid of the dark, you know that. I edged and opened my phone, clicking on Shen Nyan Nyan's moments. You went to have French cuisine with her, and also picked up the bag I ordered. Evan Jiang's face turned pale, then he straightened up confidently. I'm already your boyfriend. What's wrong with you skipping a French meal? Is a meal and a bag worth you throwing a tantrum over? I said coldly. The French meal was booked, and the bag was also bought with my own money. Is it appropriate for you to use both without my permission on Shenyan Nyan? Evan Jiang's face darkened. I continued, and, have you guys been rolling in the sheets? Jiang Gichen's breath paused. What are you talking nonsense about? Are you really so corrupting Ningning's reputation, Evan Jiang? Didn't you see the strawberry mark on your neck? Also, you changed your clothes and pants, so you change clothes when you eat too. Evan Jiang was furious. I can't be bothered with you. Looking at the closed door, I closed my eyes and fell into a deep sleep. Early the next morning, Evan Jiang and Shen Yanyan brought breakfast to my room. Ella sister, shall we go to the hospital together after breakfast? I suddenly feel a little unwell. Evan brother said he would take me to see someone. I leisurely got out of bed, not going. The two of them were stunned for a moment. Ella Ju, what are you causing trouble again? Evan Jiang's voice was full of impatience. I already said that Ningning and I are nothing. So when are you going to stop causing trouble? I leaned against the doorframe. I'm not causing trouble. I just don't want to go with you guys. Evan Jiang paused for a moment. His voice unconsciously softened. Ningning isn't feeling well. I definitely need to take her to see a doctor. If you don't go, do you want me to leave you at the hotel alone? After saying that, she reached out and tried to touch my head. I stepped back in disgust. Just as I was about to refuse again, Shen Yan suddenly picked up my phone. Ella, did you really book a flight back at noon? I was startled inside, and the hand behind my back couldn't help trembling. They carefully plotted to deceive me here. If they knew I bought a plane ticket to go back, I'm afraid they would have other intentions. Just as I was thinking rapidly, trying to figure out how to explain that I bought a plane ticket, I saw Evan Jiang also picked up his phone after hearing Shen Yanyan's words. He finished looking at his phone and stared at me with his eyes fixed. Ella Ju, what are you up to again? Last night, Ningning and I didn't do anything. She was just afraid of the dark, so I stayed with her. Are you making a fuss over such a small thing? We just came out, and you're already making a fuss to go back over this small matter. Do you think I'm free, playing around with you? Shen Yan's eyes were also filled with tears. Ella sister, I'm sorry. I know you love brother Jiang very much, but I only borrowed him for one night, and you wouldn't even agree to that. Would you? Listen to me explain. We are truly innocent. We haven't done anything. Sister Ella, don't be angry, okay? If you're upset, I'll keep my distance from brother Jiang in the future. After saying that, Shen Yanyan took a big step back, clearly intending to distance herself from Evan Jiang. Evan Jiang was already angry, and after hearing Shen Yanyan's words, his accusing gaze was directly thrown onto me. Ella Ju, when will you stop being so willful? Do you know that throwing a tantrum easily is very annoying? After saying that, he operated my phone for a while, then threw it back to me. Alright, I've already cancelled your flight ticket. Don't cause trouble anymore. He protected Shen Yan and walked to the door, then stopped. We will leave for the hospital in 10 minutes, and we are waiting for you at the door. Looking at the closed door, I discreetly sighed in relief. Fortunately, they didn't suspect anything. Evan Jiang just thought I was throwing a tantrum again, so he booked a plane ticket to go back. I didn't feel like I was leaving because I knew something. I was completely unguarded with Evan Jiang before. He knew my phone's startup and payment passwords inside out. I haven't thought about changing my password since yesterday, and unexpectedly, it made things easier for him. I was looking at the cancelled plane ticket, thinking about rebooking one, when the airline called me. Miss Ju, we saw that you requested to cancel a ticket today. This is our airline's last ticket for today. Are you sure you want to cancel? When I looked at the refund page, I found that the ticket hadn't been successfully refunded. It's still in the process of being refunded. I quickly said, No, I just accidentally clicked. I won't be refunding the ticket. After hanging up the phone, I looked at today's tickets again. The flight ticket I found back really is no longer available. Luckily, the refund didn't go through successfully. Ella Ju, what are you doing? The hotel room door suddenly opened. I turned off the screen of my phone after just changing the password, and looked at him. Evan Jiang looked at me suspiciously. After saying that, he sighed again and walked towards me. Ella, I really didn't do anything wrong to you, so stop making a fuss. You're really making me tired. I looked at the obvious mark on his neck inside his collar and didn't say anything. Evan Jiang saw my gaze and instinctively covered his collar. Nyan Nyan was drunk yesterday. I chuckled and didn't listen to him continue to justify himself, then left the hotel room. Just as the elevator doors were about to close, Evan Jiang walked in at the last moment. He reached out to hold me. Ella, I really have nothing with Nyan Nyan, if you don't believe me. After taking her to see the doctor today, we'll part ways with her. Let's just do our own thing. Okay. I forcibly resisted the urge to push him away. Are you willing to give up Nyan Nyan? I was just casually dismissing it. I never took what Evan Jiang said seriously. Ella, you're here again. When they arrived at the hotel entrance, Shen Yanyan was sitting in the front passenger seat. Seeing Evan Jiang embrace me as he led me out, my eyes suddenly turned red. Sorry, sister. Do you want to sit in the front? I will get off. Before I could speak, Evan Jiang said first, you sit here, you're car sick, don't switch around. I sneered. I used to be the only one allowed to sit in the front passenger seat. He once said that the front passenger seat belongs only to me, but it doesn't matter anymore. He even did things like lying to me to come here for my kidney. It's just a front passenger seat. I don't care at all, although I also get car sick easily. I still directly opened the back seat door. Sister, don't blame Brother Jiang. He's just worried about me, always putting me in front. Sorry, look at what I said, you're the girlfriend of Brother Jiang. Sorry about that. I kept a blank expression and said nothing about Shen Nyan Nyan's performance. Surprisingly, I saw Evan Jiang driving, looking at me through the mirror. It seemed to be looking forward to my response, but after seeing that I had no reaction, he furrowed his brows again. Ella, don't be angry, Nyan Nyan gets motion sickness, so I let her sit in the front. Don't speak, I need to rest for a while. I closed my eyes and didn't pay any attention to Evan Jiang. I also didn't look at his reaction. The car drove out steadily. After arriving at the hospital, Evan Jiang asked me to wait downstairs, while he took Shen Nyan Nyan upstairs himself. I waited for about half an hour before I finally saw him come back alone. It looks like he's full of joy on his face, probably because everything went smoothly with Shen Nyan Nyan. Ella, let's go. I tensed up. Walk where? They tricked me into coming here. Isn't it just to get me to go to the hospital with them? Why are they still letting me leave now? Could it be that the place they want to make a move isn't the hospital? I glanced at the busy hospital and suddenly realized everything. That's right, such a formal hospital. How could they let them do whatever they want? I suppose they first brought me here for a checkup, and once they confirmed that my kidneys match Shen Nyan Nyan's, they would find another place to operate. It's just that in the previous life, their actions indeed took place in a hospital. I don't know why it's become different in this life, so I became even more cautious. Where are we going? Shen Nyan Nyan. Evan Jiang paused, then smiled. She's fine, she said for us to go ahead. Watching Evan Jiang pull me out of the hospital, I asked softly, oh, where are we going now? We'll go eat first. After eating I'll take you to a place. He turned his head and looked at me gently. It's a surprise. You'll definitely like it when you get there. I sneered silently. Okay. After dinner, I looked at my watch. It's 11:40, and my flight is at 1:56. I have more than an hour left to catch the airport, of course, and I also need to shake off Evan Jiang. Evan Jiang has an international driver's license, so after arriving here, he always prefers to drive himself. Wait for me here. I'll go drive. Is the female lead a fool? I saw her ticket hasn't been refunded. Why isn't she leaving at this time? Yeah, is she going to risk her life? Don't be silly. This is abroad. Once you get in the car, you won't be able to get out. Yeah, I see the male lead is already looking for someone. Female lead, run. I was startled, to be honest. I actually did have the idea of going to see it before, but the barrage is right. Maybe as soon as I get on his car, I will be controlled and never have the chance to escape. They say curiosity killed the cat. I think I should give up. I watched him walk across the parking lot, then got into the taxi I had already called. It takes half an hour to get to the airport. After I check in, I still feel a bit uneasy. If Evan Jiang hadn't seen me just now and couldn't find me, he would definitely think of my flight reservation from yesterday immediately. Maybe someone will catch up with us. I don't dare to bet. Thinking of this, I stood up, put on sunglasses, and left the waiting area. Then I immediately took out my phone and booked the nearest flight to Singapore. Before boarding, I indeed saw Evan Jiang leading more than 20 people rushing into the waiting area of the flight I had booked. The last sight was of me seeing Evan Jiang, who couldn't find me, angrily punching the airport seat. Before the plane took off, my phone kept ringing. There were calls from Evan Jiang as well as Shen Yan. I turned on airplane mode on my phone, and on WeChat, I saw Shen Yan constantly sending insulting messages, which made me laugh and shake my head. I picked up my phone and sent her a reply. Not only do my kidneys match with yours, Evan Jiang's do too, after sending that voice message. Shen Yan immediately stopped and never sent me another message. I chuckled softly as I turned off the phone and put on my sunglasses again. After arriving in Singapore, I checked into the hotel I had booked in advance. I had a good sleep, and the next day I realized my phone was out of battery and not turned on. Before turning on the phone, I thought Evan Jiang and Shen Yan would have many calls and messages, but I didn't expect that after I turned on my phone, I didn't receive any calls or messages at all, as if my departure had no impact on them whatsoever. I opened Shen Yan's moments and took a look, only to realize that Shen Yan and Evan Jiang had actually announced their relationship. The two of them are each wearing hospital gowns, making a yay gesture. Shen Yan's caption is, "I knew it. The one who loves me the most, you wouldn't leave me behind." Behind the text, there is a string of hearts. Although Evan Jiang's is also this one, the text has changed. Official announcement. The simple two characters instantly caused a buzz on Moments. I have been with Evan Jiang for quite a while, so our moments naturally overlap a lot. His official announcement photo caused a bunch of friends to be blown away. Who is this? Where's Ella? Many people ask me below his circle of friends. Some even ask about him, whether I have broken up with him. Evan Jiang didn't explicitly clarify, but still replied to everyone with a sentence, "Everyone else is in the past tense. But classmate Nyan is now, is the future, is a lifetime." Wow, I almost felt sick and vomited after reading it. But this is also good. I don't need to explain anything to my friends anymore. Evan Jiang was straightforward and announced his relationship with Shen Yan. And those who were still curious all came to find me. Many people came to ask me if I had broken up with Evan Jiang. What should I do? I could only respond with a big crying emoji to each curious onlooker, acting like a victim. If anyone else wants to ask anything, I won't reply at all. Seeing that I didn't react, the onlookers finally quieted down. While Evan Jiang and Shen Yan are still abroad and haven't come back, I immediately bought a plane ticket to return to China. I returned to my country after 4 hours. 2 years ago, after I was with Evan Jiang, we started living together. When I got home, I packed all my valuables, as well as my clothes and frequently used items, and moved into my own house. Over the years, the only thing I am grateful for is that after I was with Evan Jiang, I never gave up on myself. Instead, I worked hard to buy myself a house. Now that I have broken up with him, I finally have nowhere to go. After packing everything up, I called the moving company. In just over 2 hours, I had cleaned away all traces related to me in this house. As soon as I got back to my house, I saw a message from Evan Jiang again. The reason I didn't block him is because I saw that Evan Jiang had already donated his kidney to Shen Yan. But in the barrage, it says that Shen Yan will soon turn Evan Jiang green. I am really looking forward to it. I opened my phone and didn't check the more than 40 voice messages Evan Jiang sent earlier. I only listened to the last 2. Ella, I don't know when you found out, but the documents at the hospital that day were incorrect. But I just want to tell you, I have a clear conscience. Originally, I thought that if you gave your kidney to Nyan, you and she would be even. But I didn't expect you to be such a person. Since that's the case, there's no need for us to contact each other in the future. I have already given my kidney to Nyan. We are together now. I hope you won't disturb our lives anymore. Smirked and sent a message back to Evan Jiang. I respect you. Make sure to lock it down. I didn't want to pursue the matter of Evan Jiang deceiving me about my kidney at first, but since he's so shameless, I don't mind showing him some color. I spent more than half a month organizing the timeline of my and Evan Jiang's relationship over the years. Then I also prepared another set of evidence showing how clingy Evan Jiang has been with Shen Yan all these years. Of course, I also included all the unbelievable information and remarks from Evan Jiang. Finally, I went to the police station. I reported to the police that Evan Jiang. I also hired a lawyer to handle the entire case. I waited for more than half a month. And finally saw on Moments that Evan Jiang and Shen Yanyan said they were returning to China. From the videos they posted, Shen Yanyan seems to be recovering well. Before the kidney transplant, her complexion was pale, looking delicate and weak, very endearing. But now her complexion is rosy, and it looks like her face has become much rounder. Conversely, what forms a strong contrast to her is Evan Jiang. Evan Jiang seems to have lost quite a bit of weight. Even the flesh on his cheeks has sunken in. The pictures the two of them posted before show the man as handsome and the woman as beautiful, and it can be said that they are a perfect match. And now, they stand together. Evan Jiang looks as if he has been drained of all his energy, his figure quickly becoming shriveled, while Shen Yanyan visibly looks better than before. Beneath this picture, I saw a friend subtly ask Evan Jiang if he was experiencing any health issues, as he looks quite haggard. But Evan Jiang only replied, "Everything is fine, haha." Finally, the day they returned to their country, I, along with the lawyer and 2 police officers, had already been waiting at the airport. As soon as the 2 appeared, they were handcuffed by the police who had been waiting for a long time. Although the fact that they happened abroad, if he doesn't come back, I really have no way to deal with these 2 scumbags. But now, the 2 have returned. And regarding the suspected intentional injury, they will definitely have to give an explanation. When Evan Jiang saw me at the airport, he thought I couldn't let go of him and came to the airport to try to win me back, even said, "Ella, stop bothering me. I'm already with Nyan Nyan. And it's impossible with you. I know you like me. But liking me doesn't help." Before he could finish, he saw 2 policemen walking towards him. "Hello, may I ask if you are Evan Jiang?" Evan Jiang nodded blankly. They looked at Shen Yanyan again. "Are you Shen Yanyan?" Shen Yanyan nervously hid behind Evan Jiang. "You are suspected of intentionally trafficking in human organs. Please come with us." As soon as the 2 returned, they were handcuffed in front of everyone. Shen Yanyan was stunned for a moment. Then, "You're wronging me. I didn't do anything." Evan Jiang also denies this. But it doesn't matter, because the 2 police officers immediately took their phones away. "Wait. Why are you taking my phone? Give me back my phone." "Yeah, why are you taking my phone? Give me back my phone." The 2 police officers didn't pay any attention to them at all, but directly took them to the police station. I went straight home to wait for news. Soon, the lawyer sent me a message. Evan Jiang and Shen Yanyan confessed. There's nothing we can do, even if they don't admit it, it doesn't matter. Because their chat records on their phones show that they have talked more than once about how to trick me into going out and how to contact overseas doctors. All these incidents are all recorded in the chat logs. The suspicion that they are involved in the illegal trade of human organs has already been confirmed. On the eve of the court hearing, Evan Jiang's lawyer came with Evan Jiang's parents. As soon as they saw me, they knelt down. The 2 elderly people, both over 50, were crying uncontrollably and begging for my forgiveness. "Ella, good girl, you and Evan have at least been together. Please, just forgive Evan, that silly child. He's got a broken brain. How could he do such a thing? Ella, please, I beg you." "Okay." Evan Jiang's mother was crying uncontrollably, while his father shamefully lowered his head and couldn't say a word. Despite their pleas, I am helpless. Although they are pitiful, they are themselves. Evan Jiang is Evan Jiang. Evan Jiang's mistakes are bound to come with a price. However, the day before the court hearing, my lawyer still advised me, if the other party is willing to pay a bit more, this settlement letter can still be written. After all, I uncovered their scheme, so I guess it was a close call. But the money is real and tangible. I thought about it for a long time and accepted the lawyer's advice. Mainly, I was thinking that even if I gave a letter of forgiveness, Evan Jiang would still be sentenced. And their compensation is also deserved. Of course, the letter of understanding, I only gave it to Evan Jiang. Because Shen Yanyan's family members are unwilling to give a single cent. Actually, a long time ago, I knew that Shen Yanyan's family was patriarchal. Now that Shen Yanyan is in trouble, her family definitely won't be willing to spend a penny to save her. So the result is, Evan Jiang was sentenced to 3 years, Shen Yanyan was sentenced to 5 years, and I sold my original house. took the money that Evan Jiang's parents just gave me, and moved to a different city to live. Several years have passed quickly. During this period, I changed 2 jobs, and the second job also received a good promotion. Now, I am already a director of a company. On the day of the promotion, I had just finished dinner with my colleagues from the company, and when I returned home, I saw a thin figure standing at the villa's door. Perhaps hearing the sound of my footsteps returning, the wandering figure paused and looked towards me. It was Evan Jiang. He paused and walked towards me. Ella. We found a place to sit at a nearby coffee shop. After chatting for a while, I found out that Evan Jiang had been released half a year earlier due to his good performance. What surprised me was that Shen Yanyan had actually been out half a year earlier than him. She had already left prison a year ago. As soon as I came out, I went to find her, but I saw that she was already heavily pregnant, looking to be several months along. She was the mistress of an old man. I thought she had some hardship, and I even planned to sell the only house left by my parents. We could start over with the money, but she mocked me, saying I was nothing. Later, I found out that even before we went abroad, she had already been involved with that old man. It was just because she was sick that she was abandoned by him. Later, she performed well in prison, and when that old man heard she was cured, he used connections to get her released. Ella, I really am damned. How? How did I come to think she is pure and kind? I even gave her my kidney. Ella, you don't know, I can't do heavy work now at all. I can only be supported by my parents. Shen Yanyan was afraid I would bother her, so she actually hired some thugs to try to break my legs. Ella, I really regret it. Ella, I listened quietly. Actually, I have no obligation to listen to Evan Jiang vent his dissatisfaction with Shen Yanyan or his dissatisfaction with his current life. But I am also a mortal. I hope Evan Jiang has a miserable life. And now the fact is just that, listening to him tell it himself, I only feel secretly pleased. It was hard enough, and I sat for another half an hour. I finally became impatient. I knocked on the table, interrupting his chattering. Evan Jiang, you came to see me today. Is there something you want to talk about? Evan Jiang paused for a moment, then looked up again, but this time with hopeful eyes at me. Ella, I checked. And you're not married yet. You don't have a boyfriend either. Do you still have feelings for me? Perhaps my silence was mistaken by Evan Jiang as consent. He paused for a moment, then said, Ella, although I was angry that you didn't want to give your kidney to Shen Yanyan at the time, I also said some harsh things to you. But if you are willing to say sorry to me, I can forgive you for taking one of my kidneys, and we can get back together. But Ella, my parents have already sold a house to get your forgiveness letter, so when we get married, you don't need to ask for a dowry, right? You can take that money to buy me a car. I directly picked up the coffee and splashed it onto Evan Jiang's face. Ella Ju, what are you doing? Evan Jiang exclaimed angrily. I stood up. Evan Jiang, I see that not only have you lost a kidney, but your brain has also atrophied. With your current look, you have no face and no figure. How about that? Can you still hold on for 3 minutes? Alright, you will report to the doctor and send it there. I'm going to buy you a bottle of water. Jiang, I took 2 steps and then turned back. Sigh, if I were you, I would definitely be pestering Shen Yanyan now. You only changed because of her. But now she lives in a big house and has a good life. TSK, look at you again. Although I didn't say anything, the way I looked around still made Evan Jiang nervously take 2 steps back. I sneered and walked away with my bag. 1 year later, I still haven't gotten married, but I met a pretty good man, planning to get in touch and see. At this age, I have a car and a house, and my need for a man has become optional. However, I heard that Evan Jiang really went after Shen Yanyan. Ever since he went to prison, he's been fired from the company. After getting out, he couldn't find a decent job because of his criminal record, so he could only cling to Shen Yanyan. And Shen Yanyan was also confronted by the legitimate wife of the old man when she was pregnant. The child was gone, and she almost lost her life as well. I heard her uterus was removed. Later, after I got married, Evan Jiang and Shen Yanyan completely faded out of my sight.